Welcome. You're watching Fairfield Television, Channel 9. I'm Susan Kessel, and Bob Tree is with me today, and we're talking about the Fairfield Concert Association coming up on its 56th season. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you very much, and I think the people of Fairfield and area are to be congratulated that they've supported the organization all these years.
I agree. What is the Fairfield Concert Association?
Well, basically, it is an association of people who are interested in music, and not only just music, but dance as well, and like to have some live entertainment, some good music, and get together to bring this about. And it's a subscription series that membership in the association, as you know, is open to everyone. The programs themselves are open only to members. So it means that you need to join the association at a very modest cost, which we'll mention in a moment, but at a very modest cost in order to attend the programs through the coming season. We also have reciprocity with some of our neighboring communities, and so a member of the Fairfield Concert Association can attend programs in, say, Washington or Ottumwa or Keokuk by simply showing their current Fairfield membership card.
So that
no
adds
extra
up.
charge.
That adds up to a lot of concerts.
It
for
really
membership.
does.
And we're heading into the membership drive.
Yes, we are. The membership drive will begin on Monday, April 12th, and will run for nearly 2 weeks. It will conclude on Friday, April 23rd.
And how does a person become a member?
It is very easy. Some people may be contacted directly by a member of the board or one of our workers who is out selling memberships, or an individual can contact one of them, or we have a number of phone numbers that they can call. For example, our membership chairman is 472-3378.
So be ready for those phone calls.
So she should be ready for those phone calls. And as a matter of fact, even though our drive is not starting for a few more days, for another week or so, if you want to reserve a membership, all you have to do is call that number now and just reserve the membership, even though the drive hasn't officially started.
It's very easy to join the Concert Association.
Yes, it is.
And anyone in the community. I believe you have individual memberships, family memberships, student memberships.
And student memberships. And I might also add that Party Goods and More out on West 34 and Somebody Cares on the Square are both selling memberships for us. Again this year. They did last year, and they're doing so again this year during their regular business hours. So that if you're shopping out west or you're uptown on the square, just stop in at one of these places, Party Goods and More or Somebody Cares, and buy your membership through them.
Now, we were talking about why memberships are so important and why you sell these and go through this membership season. It's important to build up the support so that you can actually go forward and purchase the concerts for the coming year.
That is the very basic reason. We have a very good idea how much money we have to spend on programs for the coming season as a result of our membership drive in the spring. We don't have a list of guarantors like some of the big city symphonies and opera companies have, that if there is a deficit, the guarantors make it up. And we are not backed by a college or a university, such as Hampshire Auditorium has the support of the University of Iowa. We don't have that kind of support. We don't have guarantors. So we have found that it works best if we have the membership drive, we know what we have to spend, and we spend virtually all of the money that we take in through membership sales. We spend virtually all of that on the programs themselves.
So the Concert Association is a nonprofit. You're not stashing away money anywhere. You're actually using it every year for the programs.
Exactly.
For the membership.
Yeah, exactly. We're a nonprofit, and it's an all-volunteer organization.
And you
We
have,
have
at
no
least
paid
20
employees.
At least 20 board members, around 18
We have
or
about
20.
24 board members,
24.
actually. And we don't rent any office space. The secretary of the association simply donates some space in her home for the association's records and that sort of thing.
So this is a very efficient organization that's been going on, coming up on its 56th year, very successful in providing this for our community. And I think it's wonderful that we have so many concerts and the membership that supports that, and I hope that there are people out in our audience that will decide that they want to become a member and support the Fairfield Concert Association in its 56th year.
I certainly hope so.
Now, I know we've talked before that in lining the concerts up, lots of times you'll get a concert by an artist that's up and coming.
Right.
And you turn around and a few years later, it's impossible to get them because they're so famous.
This has happened to us more than once. I would say the most recent incident was about 4 years ago now, I guess, something like that. We had the On Trio, three sisters who hailed originally from Korea that were just fabulous musicians. 2 years later, they were booked at Hampshire Auditorium.
So
And when they go to
first
Hampshire,
here.
you heard them first here, but when they go to Hampshire, we're not going to have them here again. We just cannot afford them. But here were three young musicians, all Juilliard trained, who were on their way up, and were going to be big time. And they're doing the East Coast, they're in Europe, they're in Asia. And yes, we do have that happen every now and then. And that is one of the things that, by and large, the musicians, artists that we have are the young ones that are on their way up. Some of our audience may very well remember our violinist, Janice, her last name escapes me at the moment, I'm sorry to say. But she also Juilliard trained, had a stint, 3 years, Army enlistment as violinist with the Army Band in Washington, and is now on her own, put on a wonderful program for us. And I think we're going to hear more about her in the years to come.
Now, I know all of your concerts are very top quality.
Right.
And you get these through a company.
Yes, we have a connection with Allied Concert Services of Minnetonka, Minnesota, Minnetonka being a suburb of Minneapolis. And they are our chief supplier, and they've done an awfully good job for us for over 25 years of finding top-notch talent that's affordable and making them available. And they make the arrangements for the tour. They take care of the housing of the artist. They take care of the programs, the membership cards. Their motto is, we supply everything but the applause. And,
it sounds like they do.
And they
That's
really
great.
do. They have done a very good job for us. They're on the lookout for talent. They go all over the country to hear and see artists that are wanting to be employed. And through their connections and through their searching and looking and listening. They do a fine job of winnowing out artists that might be all right in one setting, but might not be good on a tour, or might not have the stamina to go out for a month and to do it almost every night, the matinee on Sunday or something like
big
that.
Commitment.
It's a big commitment for these people.
And I suppose after 25 years of working with Allied, they know what you've had, and so you continue the variety that they offer.
Right. They know, for example, that we had a violinist this past season, so maybe we would not want to have a violinist this next season. Doesn't mean we'd never have a violinist again.
Right.
But want some variety. They also are familiar with our particular needs. For example, we feel that it's not a good idea for us to have a concert on a Friday evening in the fall. Football, yeah.
Exactly.
And they know that, and they understand the problem in that regard. When spring comes along and the football season is no longer, well, then a Friday evening for a concert is perfectly all right.
I never thought of that. You do have concerts on Sunday afternoons. And
Fact is, we get
weeknights.
perhaps some of our best, largest audiences on Sunday afternoon. There are people, well, we have some of our people who are reluctant to get out at night.
Right.
But
Right.
a Sunday afternoon,
And in
they
the
can
winter,
go,
if
yeah.
you know you're home and there's nothing to do and there's no excuse.
and so they come out. So we do, and we often have more people from out of town come.
Sundays.
Every now and then, because I often work one of the doors at the auditorium, I'll have people tell me, well, we came over from Ottumwa. We stopped and had dinner at the restaurant out west of town, and then came on in. So, you know, the concert draws people in. They will come, they will stop at a restaurant.
They will
or
buy
will-
gas.
and they'll
will
buy gas, perhaps.
maybe shop.
So you just don't know. It's hard to quantify something like that.
Yes.
But you know that people do come and they buy and do other things in the community that are beneficial. Leave a little money, and
Right.
so it's very good. So we always try to have at least one matinee on a Sunday afternoon during the season, because of course you can't have all matinees, because then there are other
Right.
people who would not feel they could never attend because they do something else on Sunday.
Well, I think you
And
do an
so-
excellent job of selecting the times and days. From when I put it on the scroll here at FPAC, I can see the variety and the concerts themselves that appeal to a wide audience.
Well, this is one of the things we really try for, is to have programs that are suitable for the entire family and that are enjoyable and do have variety. We know, for example, that Fairfield is a band town, has been for years and years. So we try to have a brass ensemble from time to time, perhaps not every year, but at least have a brass ensemble, because that does have an appeal to some of our audience. Very definitely, that's the thing they'd like to buy a membership for, is to attend the brass ensemble, and then they'll come to some of the other programs. We have in this community, I have no idea how many children are involved in dance programs,
Oh, you are so right.
but there are lots. And so we try to have a dance program from time to time. These aren't as easy to come by as instrumentalists are,
Or to supply the space for
and
the
have
present time.
Right. But one of the things we were able to do this year, and it's coming up this Sunday on April 4th, and that is we've been able to get the dancers in company from the University of Iowa's dance department. Now this is an extra concert that we were able to book after
Extra concert.
we published the list last spring, and we booked this sometime during the winter. We were able to finally get things nailed down.
And that's exciting. I particularly enjoy dance. My children danced, and so that appeals to me, but there is such variety. I hope that our community will support the memberships and sees how much it brings to our community, the culture, and the inspiration to young people that get to see things that maybe sometimes don't get to go out of town or go to Hampshire. It shows them bringing it to Fairfield. They have the opportunities to see things, and then maybe they'll be inspired or learn to enjoy things that maybe they didn't know they liked.
Well, this does happen, as we all know, that a youngster sees a dancer or sees a violinist, or
And it makes a difference in their life.
and that's something they want to do and interest them, and who knows, they may go on and become a professional musician or a professional dancer.
I'm sure every artist that you ever talk to has been inspired in some way, and that's one of the ways, and so that's
You're right.
important.
You're right, because, well, we talk with them. It's fun to talk with them, meet with them before and after the program, and
That's
find
another
out how
thing,
they get into it.
is that you do have a reception for them?
Yes, we do. This started back in the early days of the association, when it was realized by board members that there wasn't any place for the artists to eat after the program. That was before the days of a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut or a Big Mac and that sort of thing. And when you stop and consider it, there still isn't really any place to eat except a fast food place.
The time, the hour might.
The hour. And many of these people, singers in particular, but many instrumentalists as well, and dancers also, are reluctant to eat before a performance.
That makes sense.
Now, singers are a little jealous of pianists because pianists don't seem to worry about it. But by and large, they prefer not to eat before a performance. And so what started long ago as just a little reception at home to have a little something for them to eat has developed a little bit more over the years. And recently, the board members have been entertaining the artists at the McElhinny House.
That's perfect.
And they love it. They love coming in to the house. And after being on the road and being one restaurant after another.
It's very homey.
And they like the hominess. They like the fact that the McElhinny House serves home-cooked food, and they really enjoy it. And I should point out that this is not paid for by the membership fees. This is something paid for by the board members out of their own pocket. No, because it is limited to board members and their spouses. But it is not paid for by members who have bought a membership but are not
And that's very
invited.
generous of the board to
And
be doing that. I'm sure that leaves the artists with a very good feeling when they leave Fairfield.
They like it very much. We get the comment quite frequently, we've never been treated this nicely before. That they've been pretty much on their own to get something to eat afterwards, or there may be a little reception which consists of a cup of coffee and a cookie. Well, if you haven't eaten the better part of the day, and then you've worked hard for 2 hours playing your violin or whatever, you're hungry afterwards. And so they do really enjoy it. And we enjoy it because it does give us an opportunity to meet them and to get to know a little bit more about their background, what they've done and what they're aspiring to do and that
And then you
sort of thing.
remember them when they go on to become famous, and you can
Exactly.
say, I had dinner with this person.
Exactly.
Well, it's easy to see why the Concert Association has been so successful in its 56 years, or starting into its 56th year in the membership for this coming season. I'm talking with Bob Tree, who's a board member, and we're talking about the season for next year. Let's talk about what you have lined up.
All right. We have an awfully good group, I think, again this year. This past season has been superb. The year before was. And I think this one coming up is also looks very, very strong. And starting out in October will be Orange Kellins. Now there's an interesting name. Orange Kellins and his New Orleans Blue Serenaders.
And that must be this one.
And it's this group right here. And let's see, this is Orange with the clarinet. And then the Kenny Sarah, the percussionist, and name escapes me at the moment, is the other instrumentalist. And then this is, and let's see if I can catch his name here. This is
And this is in the fall.
This is in the fall. This will be in October.
Okay.
He is singer and dancer and has had his own show on Broadway, One Mo' Time, and he is going to be doing some of the songs and dances from that show.
Sounds very
But this
exciting.
is New Orleans, authentic New Orleans jazz, and that's going to be in October.
So that will kick off the year.
That'll
the new
kick off
year.
the year, the new
Okay.
season. As we know, there are a lot of people in Fairfield that do thoroughly enjoy good New Orleans jazz. Then, following that Orange there in November will be, oops, excuse me.
There we go.
This is Angela Joachim, and she is a native of Ames, Iowa. So she is an Iowa girl
Coming home.
coming home, and she is a concert pianist and just a marvelous pianist. The critics who review her concerts generally use terms like poetic, ecstatic, graceful. These are the terms that they apply to her. And so she will be doing a variety of concert piano music. One thing I might add here about Angela and the group from New Orleans and the other artists, and is a growing, and I think a good tendency on the part of many of these artists, and that is to have a greater variety in their programming than used to be the case. And in part I attribute that to the people at Allied Concert Services who have encouraged them to get away from this business of you have the heavy music, the first half, and then intermission, and then you have a lighter program. Because what seems to happen is a lot of people have gotten tired in the first half and they
Weighted
leave
down
at
and-
intermission. And so they're tending to vary the program. And also, more of these artists are beginning to be more interested in contemporary music. Not only American contemporary, but also European. And so we're getting more modern music. Not the punk rock and that sort of thing. I'm not meaning that. But more contemporary. It used to be unheard of almost that Gershwin would ever be on a serious program. Gershwin is a regular on a lot of our programs now. There'll be something by Gershwin. So I think you'll find that while her program will be basically classical, there's going to be some modern and lighter music, some show tunes, and that sort of thing mixed
So
in.
you don't have to worry about things being too stuffy.
Exactly.
I know some people would think, oh, it's a little too stuffy, but it sounds like there's something for everyone and a really enjoyable concert
Right.
are being offered.
And we know, for example, that the show tunes, Rodgers and Hammerstein and Stephen Sondheim and so forth, wonderful music. Why shouldn't they be represented? And they should, and they are, increasingly so.
And once again, we're here talking with Bob Tree about the Fairfield Concert Association and its membership drive that is coming up, and we invite all of the community to join in. It's open to everyone, and it's important that you participate in joining because that is the way you get to attend the concerts.
And the more members we have, the bigger budget we have, and can bring better and more artists to town. And this is very important as well.
Yes. So
Now,
we've talked about
Coming on to our next program will be in January, and this is Trio Fedele. And it's a flute and piano and cello, a rather interesting and different combination of instruments. And these three fellows have been together for 10 years or so, and they came together because they had a love of good music and wanted to put it together. And again, here is a group that the program is basically classical, but a mixture, so that it isn't just a steady diet of one thing. And then following the trio, this will be in February, this is the Black Mountain Male Chorus of Wales.
Now talk about a switch. This is a real switch.
It sure is. As you may recall, we had the boys choir
Yes.
from the Czech Republic this year, and so now we have an older group, although not really very old. The average age of the Black Mountain Chorus is 25, and they are picked from the national music schools, and also many of them are solo performers in their own right and are on the bottom rungs of the ladder to professional fame and fortune. And so I think this is going to be very exciting group to listen to. We all know that the Welsh have a reputation for being singers, and so I think we're going to have a marvelous evening of choral music with this particular group. There are 22 men in the chorus, and so I think, and it will do the variation and variety. Welsh music, English songs, there will be American and Irish music as well. So they play quite a variety. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to conclude the series in March with Synergy Quintet Brass Ensemble. And they hail from New England. And I don't know how well we can see the picture there, but they look like a group
Lively
that
group.
has fun.
Yeah.
Brass people always seem to have more fun than any of the other musicians in a group. I don't know why, but they always seem to.
I think these concerts would be very uplifting. Certain times of the year, you're stuck inside next March, and
Yep.
get out and hear that.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. But I think you can see, Susan, what a variety we have
Yes.
in 5 concerts here. We really have quite a nice variety, and it is spread out over the season. We haven't got them all bunched in the fall and then nothing for the rest of the season. We start in October, go through to March. And
the
so I think it's good.
memberships, the amounts to join, The student membership is
$15.
$15.
And
What a bargain.
You bet it is. You
Wow.
bet. And we are very generous in our interpretation of student. There are some associations that cut it off at 8th grade, but we don't. As long as registered in school as a student in school, college, as well as high school, student membership.
That's
And we do have many people here in town that have been very generous of giving student memberships to the schools. And we have several of the music teachers and others in the school system that have been very helpful in arranging so that students can get these memberships, attend a concert, and oftentimes a one or more teachers will be there and will sit with the students down front. And so that the parents who may not be wanting to stay for one reason or another know that they can leave their 3rd or 4th grader at the school, the teachers there, and they have some supervision.
That's a great opportunity.
So they've been very good on that.
And if you have someone that you know that's very interested in music and this type of entertainment or any entertainment, what a wonderful gift to give them.
Well, and as I understand it, I think sometimes the teachers take some time at school during, say, a music class to talk about the artist that's coming and some of the things that perhaps they're going to do or to look for and that sort of thing. So it...
Another inspiring learning
Exactly.
experience. So it's $15 for the student, and then there's individual.
There's individual adult, and that is $30 for an adult.
And that is still a bargain.
It certainly is.
You would pay $30 for one concert in some places.
In a good many places, yes, exactly. Well, I just say from personal experience, I like to go to Hampshire several times during the course of the season, and that seems to me I never pay less than $30 for one performance.
And you're getting all of these for the whole season.
And this is getting all of this. It boils down to $6 a concert for an adult, and that's not taking into account the fact that there are going to be several more concerts that one can go to, Washington, Ottumwa, and Keokuk. There's probably anywhere from 10 to 12 more concerts in addition to ours that can be attended, and sometimes there is an overlap. Sometimes Washington will have a night before or night after we've had something.
But that's great, because if you know that you're going to miss one, you can jump over there and see it.
That's it, exactly, and people do that. And the other thing is, sometimes the concert is so thoroughly enjoyed here that many people will go on up to Washington
And see it again.
and see it again. And
That says a
or
lot
we have
for the
had
concerts.
we have had people from Ottumwa who have so enjoyed it that they've come over here to hear it again. So it
So you're getting a lot for your money,
You
a
really
lot for
do.
your memberships with the Fairfield Concert
it
Association.
really is. It is a tremendous bargain.
So it's 15 for students and 30 for individuals, and then there's family.
There's a family membership, and that's mother and father and as many children as they have, and that is $60.
60. You can't beat it. I hope that lots of you in our community will take advantage of this and support the Fairfield Concert Association in its membership drive that is just getting ready to start April
12th, Monday, April 12th. That's the day after Easter.
for 2 weeks.
All right, we're going to conclude on Friday, April 23rd, and I won't try to give you all of the telephone numbers because that gets rather difficult to remember. It will be in all of our publicity, our advertising, and so forth. But our membership chairman is 472-3378.
And you can call that number now or late. Write it down and call later. You can also stop in during business hours to Party Goods and More or Somebody Cares,
mhm.
and join there. It's a wonderful thing for our community. 56 years, the 56th season is coming up, and it's survived this long because it's a wonderful thing for our community. And I sure hope that more people will support and become members so that they can attend these concerts.
Well, thank you very much. Certainly do hope that they will, because it is a great bargain. It's a wonderful program. People come and they have a wonderful time. I think of one of our concerts just recently, Quattrocelli, and I know there were many people that were a little bit dubious about 4 cellos. Turned out it was a smash hit.
I bet.
Three standing ovations.
Oh.
and our audience is not noted for giving lots of standing ovations. So, it's just really, you can have a good time. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It's a great opportunity for our community to get to experience these concerts, events without leaving town.
Exactly. Yeah, you can be home in a few minutes.
Right.
And it's fine. You can feel you can bring the children to these concerts because they begin at 7:30 in the evening, and are going to be finished by about 9:30. So you're not keeping children out late.
Right. And you don't have to be on the road.
You're not on the road.
It's a win-win for everyone. So once again, the Fairfield Concert Association in Fairfield membership drive for the next 2 weeks, starting April 12th. Don't miss it. You're going to want to join. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here.